Good morning. This is Dr. Michael Datcher, and today's morning chant is coming soon. But welcome to the 445 Productive Through Joy show with your host and your boy, Dr. Michael Datcher. This show airs each weekday morning, hella early AF at 4:45 a.m. here on YouTube's Michael Datcher channel, and then 4:45 p.m. on Facebook Live. Today, we're talking about faith, faith in yourself, faith in what I call one love, but faith in the higher power, the infinite mind, the Allah, Jah, God, Jesus, whatever you um, provide the name with your particular higher being, just how that all comes together to make one more productive. So thanks for being here. We have a really interesting and I would argue powerful show today. So thanks again for joining us. So, if you are new to the show, we speak to groups, scoops too. We speak to groups, schools, and organizations about being more productive through joy. Um, we have a really innovative narrative-based process, meaning everyone's life has historically told a story. Everyone's life is currently telling a story right now, and everyone's life will ultimately tell a story. So we help people think through and work through those particular realities and help them really help their lives to tell the story they want to tell it moving forward and hopefully in an aspirational sense. So thanks for being here. If you again are new, allow me to say a few words about myself. This is your host and your boy, Dr. Michael Datcher, author of the New York Times bestseller Raising Fences, which was a Today Show Book of the Month pick. That book's film rights were optioned by the actor Will Smith, whose people called my people, and I eventually agreed to write the screenplay for that particular project. I'm also the author of the new historical novel Americus, which just came out in October. That book examines the intersection of race violence and family in the American family. It's set 13 miles from Ferguson and is a reimagining of the ancient Kemetic or Egyptian story of Asar and Set, who were both twins, identical twins, and rivals. You may know the name Asar as Osiris, which is the Greek adaptation of that Egyptian narrative. Powerful book just came out. That's October. Then in April, my super brand new book, Animating Black and Brown Liberation: A Theory of American Literatures, was published. That book examines the intersection of not race. It does of activism and literature. Can literature be a repository for new ideas to help us understand what effective activism can look like, can be about by examining novels, plays, and at times poetry that features activists as protagonists, right? So that book's really innovative and interesting as well. I'm on a roll right now. Um, so I'm on the book tour for both of those two last books. I'll be here in Los Angeles actually at the Leimert Park Book Fair Saturday, August 24th. Come see me here. I'll be in Northern Illinois University. I'll be at the Brattleboro Literary Festival in Vermont. I'll be in Seattle at MLA. I'll be in Kentucky at the Kentucky Literary Festival. I'll be in New Mexico. I'll be in Taos, New Mexico. I'm coming. I'll be in Louisiana at the Louisiana Book Fair. Um, Look for me. I'm gonna be coming to you sooner than later. So when you see me, reach out. Let's have some cognac or some chamomile. I do both ends of those spectrums. All right. My educational background is UC Berkeley as an undergrad, my master's from UCLA, and my PhD in English literature from the University of California, Riverside. I'm an expert at being productive. I don't say that little bio to brag or boast, but I say it every show so people can know. Hey, people are always surprised to hear that when they hear my background. I am the product of a young girl who was violated at age 16, gave birth to me at 17, and subsequently gave me up for adoption to a single divorcee. At the time, no biological father, no adopted father. Listen, difficult times for the young MD. Yet his cool Modi famously said, "How you like me now?" And if I can be this productive and be so through joy, we are arguing and believing and knowing that so can many people who watch our show. Um, that's what motivates me personally, because I know it's not where you're from, it's where you're about to go. So thanks for being here, guys. Let's dive into the topic again. So today, guys, we're talking about faith and productivity. And number one is that, man, you want to know that you have an extraordinary power at your disposal. Life is, in my experience, difficult for most people. I mean, it just is. I mean, life is amazing, life is beautiful. Life's a challenge, though. I mean, there's no two ways about it. If you're trying to pursue dreams, especially, or raise a family, or just not get shot carrying Skittles, I mean, on some real talk, life is challenging, right? So you want to get as much help as you possibly can. Uh, and when you know that you have access to the primordial energy, the thing itself that's all around us, that's an important step to becoming your fully realized self, which goes right into point two. Well, what does that mean? Well, as if you know the show, we talk a great deal about the power of meditation and other types of spiritual modalities. And of course, just hard work and discipline as well. But in service, doing things because of and inspired by things larger than yourself, the spirit. As we touched on a bit in our show yesterday about divinity, it's understanding that that God thing, that divine thing, is also inside of you, and you want to have faith that that thing is inside of you and can not just be used; it's there. It is you. It can reveal a greater version of you, and that greater version can do more, get more done, serve more, help people more, help your family more, help yourself more, which goes right into point three. And you have to live it. It is insufficient to have intellectual knowledge of faith, of the faith that as I visualize, see, believe, work, that the things that I visualize, see, work on are going to manifest for sure, like 1,000%. You have to have that surety. I'm not always sure when it's going to happen. That part I haven't figured out yet. At times it happens really fast. At times it doesn't happen so fast. But in my experience, as I maintain my faith, as I visualize, as I see in my mind the life that I'm looking for me and my family and my community, that thing manifests. That's just my experience. So when I'm speaking to you on this show, I'm talking about things that I am doing and that I know. Like, this is not, although I have a book of theory out right now, this is not simply theoretical, although it is theoretical in a way. But it's also very practical because it's actually what I know. I've placed the theory into practice and it works. And so, as part of my own service to the community, to the world, I'm sharing it because that's what you do. You don't hold it, you don't hoard the knowledge to yourself. You let people have the opportunity to use it as well. And again, an intellectual knowledge, though, is not enough. I'm thinking about my students, the time we live in, a lot of the millennial folk and other people as well. But as a professor, I know lots of people 18 to 25. Um, and this emergent generation, millennials and those who are coming behind them, you know, there's such anxiety, there's such fear, and such this is, of course, I'm speaking very broadly, and not all people, folks who are 18 and 25 are this way. I'm just saying, but there's a culture that I see of that, and there's various reasons behind it, which I won't get into now. But in particular, that population is going to have to be the ones who really double down on the knowledge of self and the communing with self and the being comfortable with the self and to elevating to their higher level of consciousness. And luckily, I do see some a good silver lining is that that generation is learning about mindfulness and meditation early on. I know my daughter, who's only 6, has already had mindfulness classes, so I know meditation classes. That's part of what we do in our household. So I know that there can be great change and growth in this upcoming generation, and it does take it takes work. So I'll leave it at that. I don't want to preach too much. Boom, it goes the dynamite. Thanks for being here, guys. We air each weekday morning, hella early at 4:45 a.m. then 4:45 p.m. We'll see you all this afternoon at 4:45 p.m. Until then, let's talk about it and be about it. Deuces.